Okay, so this is a set of information about lines and angles. This is lines and angles. That's going to lead us into a chapter or a unit on parallel lines. So let's start by talking about what are parallel lines. Parallel lines are two lines that are coplanar, so they have to be in the same plane, and they do not intersect. So they're lines that are coplanar and they do not intersect. So these two lines are in the plane of like the screen here, and they are not intersecting with each other. We also have what are going to be called skew lines, which are also non-intersecting lines, but they are non-coplanar. Okay, so the best way to see this kind of on a two-dimensional screen is to imagine a box. Okay, so we've got the box here. Let's call this AB. So I have this line AB going that way. Let's call this CD down here. So this is the line CD going that way. So you have AB coming across here, you have CD coming across there. These two lines would not in fact intersect because one's in the plane of the ceiling, one's in the plane of the floor, but they're not parallel. So if they are non-coplanar lines, these are what we call skew lines. Okay, so this is a little bit of ways to classify lines and how they relate to each other. Most of what we're going to handle within this chapter, though, are going to be parallel lines, so we're going to be focusing in on that idea. Okay, so big drawing that we're going to see here is you're going to see like two lines. They don't have to be parallel, just two lines being cut by a third line. Okay, so we're going to call this line J, we'll call this one K, we're going to call that one T. Why are we going to call it T? Because it's called a transversal. So a line that cuts across other lines is what we call a transversal. And we're going to number these angles. We're going to call this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so a transversal is a line that cuts across more than one coplanar line. Now we're going to get four sets of angles. We're going to get what are called alternate, there we go, interior angles. We're going to have what we're going to call alternate exterior angles. We're going to have what are called same side interior angles. And we're going to have what are called corresponding angles. So this is a whole bunch of angle pairs. Okay, alternate. So when we're looking at our drawing here, the space between the two lines is what is called the interior. The space out here is an exterior, and out here is an exterior. So between the lines, we call it an interior. Outside the lines, we call it an exterior. So alternate interior angles are all on the inside. So angles 4, 3, 5, and 6 are all interior angles. If they're alternate interiors, they're on opposite sides of the transversal. So one pair of alternate interior angles is 4 and 6. They're both in the interior, but they're on the opposite sides of the transversal. Another pair here is 5 and 3. Okay, so 5 and 3 are also in the interior, but on opposite sides of the transversal. Exterior angles have to be in the exterior. So 1, 2, 8, and 7 are all exterior angles. Now, 1 and 7, angles 1 and angle 7 are a pair of alternate exterior angles because they're on opposite sides of the transversal and both in the exterior. Likewise, angles 2 and 8 are also called alternate exterior angles because they are in the exterior and opposite sides of the transversal. Okay, same side interior, so I'm back in the interior here. But now they're on the same side of the transversal. So 4 and 5 are in the interior, but they're both on the same side of the transversal. So these are same side interior angles. 3 and 6, okay, 3 and 6 are also in the interior, but also on the same side of the transversal. So that's another pair of same side interior angles. Okay, corresponding ones are angles that are in the same position, but at the different intersection. So like angle 1 is up and to the left of this intersection. Angle 5 is up and to the left of this one. So angle 1 and angle 5 is a pair of corresponding angles. 2 is up and to the right, and so is 6. So angle 2 and angle 6 are a pair of corresponding angles. 4 and 8 are both down and to the left. So angle 4 and angle 8 are both corresponding angles. And 3 and 7 are both down and to the right. So angle 3 and angle 7 are also corresponding angles. So this is the big drawing that we're going to be working with. Alternate interiors, 4 and 6, 3 and 5. Alternate exteriors, 1 and 7, 2 and 8. Same side interiors, 4 and 5, and 3 and 6. Corresponding, up and to the left, 1 and 5. Up and to the right, 2 and 6. Down and to the left, 4 and 8. Down and to the right, 3 and 7. So this is just vocabulary that we're developing for when we're going to work with two lines that are cut by a transversal.